Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Dumbass Podcast. I am Winter.
I'm here. I'm Zach Goldpickman.
I'm Glitchmaster Face.
And welcome to the first official episode of the Dumbass Podcast. Stereotypical YouTubers here, starting a podcast because I was like, fuck it, this will be fun. This first episode, if you couldn't tell by the title and thumbnail, we're going to be talking about short films, our two short films, which is Stir Crazy, and we also are going to be talking about the Paper Pals movie. I figured we start off with Stir Crazy since that one will be more of a shorter film. The Paper Pals is going to be more of a probably longer movie, so I figured we'd start with Stir Crazy. But yeah, Stir Crazy, the original trilogy, well, even the original video was done by FaZe. Yeah.
Yeah, the Stir Crazy was just a simple sketch I made, and it wasn't really meant to be anything related to the actual storyline of my characters.
But then I expanded on the idea, and then Zach finished.
And now
the idea
it has
very
two
strongly.
sequels, and it's getting a movie.
Yeah. But the only thing that is going to stay the same is the hole and the insanity over the 5 days. Zach's character, what was his name?
William Finch.
Yeah. He's going to be, like, the main character in that. If you guys ever seen the movie Tremors, there's that one crazy guy who, like, knows already enough about him. You know who I'm talking about.
Burt Gummer.
Yeah. Zach's going to be like that character. When this town in Missouri, because Missouri's known as the Cave State, felt like a pretty good choice, in my opinion. But it's going to take place in a small town there that I'll have to make up another name for. And we're going to find out that not only is the only threat in the whole, like, just losing sanity, and on the, like, 4th or 5th day you start to turn cannibal, there is going to be an actual enemy down there, which are known as skinwalkers. If you guys have heard the legend of the skinwalkers, they're like these witches that can...
Biped.
Huh?
Quadrupedal.
Yeah, they're like these quadrupedal, like... well, at least in the Stir Crazy, they're going to be these quadrupedal, hairless... it's an SCP-939. If you guys know SCP-939, took some inspiration for the design off of that. But they're like these hairless, pale creatures with really long teeth. The original Skinwalker, like the legend, is that it's these witches that can take the form of animals while eating other animals and also hunting humans. So that's going to be one of the main threats in the Stir Crazy film.
And my character is very trained in killing them by the time the movie takes place.
But yeah, we're gonna, like, I figured it would, like, I'm not gonna give away too much, obviously, but I'm gonna give, like, the general synopsis. Like, it'll, like, start with, like, because, like, I figured it would take place, like, 10, 20 years later, from the last Stir Crazy video, so you'll be older. I'm going to play one of the other characters. You'll just have to ignore the first two, because I'm going to play another character. Probably not as much of a major character, because Zach's character is going to be the main one. But so far, Zach's character is the only one that has been able to escape, making him the obvious choice for the main character.
Yeah, the other two didn't make it.
Yeah. That was just kind of to show what can happen if you don't make it.
Yeah.
But eventually I figured that in the movie, like, you're going to find out that it's not just the hole. It's connected to these series of catacombs and caves, which something I feel like is worth talking about is I'm going to build a lot of these things. Like, I took a shop class for 2 or 3 years. Maybe not that long. Well, it was that long. But my point is, I know how to, like, build stuff out of, like, wood and stuff, so I'm going to build, like, these sets for some of the tunnels, and also the skinwalkers themselves. I'm going to like actually make like 3 different types of puppets for, which will be a bit of a challenge, but I'm still gonna do it because I think in movies practical effects is the better way to go. Also, we don't know how to do CGI.
Yeah, it's amazing. Yeah, it's amazing what you can do with special effects. I mean, what was the word I'm looking for? Practical effects.
Yeah.
So, yeah. For those of you who are listening who are uneducated, these catacombs are inspired by the Paris Catacombs. Paris sits on top of an insane maze of catacombs that not only stretch large amounts distance-wise across this basic like underground surface, but there's also multiple levels. It's very easy to get lost in them. Entrances and exits are few and far between, and you cannot enter them legally. And if you decide to break into them, you're basically signing your death warrant, because it's very easy for something to go wrong, and once that happens, you're pretty much done for.
Yeah, there was actually only one video of that where a guy was roaming the catacombs, and like at one point he actually drops the camera in a puddle of water and then just makes a bolt for it.
Yeah.
Me and Logan saw a video where a guy found that footage and he went in after to like solve the mystery, but didn't. We also found out that apparently PewDiePie went in there.
Yeah, I was not aware of that. Even I've been subscribed to him for a long time. Yeah, he filmed a video down there. Like, he had a GoPro and he was with like 1 or 2 other people. I'm like,
how did he get down there in the first place?
I don't know.
Illegally.
He's PewDiePie. I don't know. Who knows?
But yeah, that's the story of the catacombs.
What has YouTube come to be?
Yeah. The layout, well, I say layout. There's no way in hell I'm going down to the real catacombs to map the layout for the film. I'm not that dedicated for it, but like...
I'm pretty sure that's what the internet's for.
Yeah, pretty much. I'm going to like do a basic, like, it's going to be a maze down there. Obviously, when it comes to sets, there are going to be a bunch of different sets that'll all like go together in editing. And then the skinwalkers themselves... I have 3 puppet ideas that I'm doing right now. One is going to be one like that's just like the upper half, which is the head and some of the body that the actor can put their hand through just to control it like a regular puppet. Along with that is the 2 gloves that will slip on for the hands. The second one I want to have is like an actual like full model of the skinwalker that is for like when it's been shot and killed, so it's just lifeless body is there. The third one, which is going to be the most challenging, is I'm going to have to make a full-on suit that someone can wear. It won't need to be that detailed because that's just for white shots when it's like running across the camera in the caves, and it will be like low lit, so you don't really need to see detail. You just need to know that you're fucked and something just ran across from you.
Yeah, somebody to wear, aka me, the only one who's actually even remotely nimble here.
Yeah. I'm hoping by the time this starts filming, we'll be able to like get some more people, because we're going to need background extras, because this is going to be like a town thing. But that's something not necessary to worry about right now. But, yeah. Zach's character going to be kind of a badass, very well educated in what he's doing, but even when you know what you're doing, I figured for the film, your character would only quite realize... You would only think that there would be, like... You only thought that there was, like, 5 of these down there. Turns out there's quite a lot more than just 5.
Well, the whole thing about the Tremors movie and Burt Gummer is that it shows that it breaks, like... The horror movie trope is that, oh, even the most well-prepared will fall to the plague here, but in the Tremors movies it's like, hey, maybe being over-prepared for a situation is actually what'll get you to fucking live.
Yeah, that's it, and that's why the town's gonna see your character as crazy, because his house is like just this like place where like he keeps all of his guns, just so much ammunition and shit like that, just over-prepared just in case something like this happens. And then everyone's gonna realize, hey, maybe this guy wasn't as crazy as they thought, because another thing I want to focus on is that, like, your character also tries to keep, like this hidden from people, so more people, like, don't, like, go off and, like, fall into these holes.
Yeah, and he's going, and whenever he, like, finds entrances, he just, like, drops a stick of dynamite down there to collapse them.
Yeah, sealing them off. But, like, there's going to be several different, like, entrances throughout different parts of the town. Like, I already have some filming locations I'm going to do. Back in my hometown at Boonesboro, there's this park there that I'm going to film a few scenes there for. And that's a good place for, like, wider shots. And what I mean by that, it's just, like, there's barely any ever people there, and there's a lot of area that you could film at. So that's going to be something to do.
I feel like what we're really going to have to figure out is why the hell they would decide to go down there to stop the threat when all they would really need to do is just search the area for entrances and just collapse them all. Well, you don't need to kill the problem.
Is one of the newer characters, probably one of the ones I play, one of them, like, their friend falls down there, and, like, my character goes after to save them, and, like your character, Zach, is, like, going to be, like, can't just have someone going down there when they could be saved real quick, and then you end up finding out that there's more than just the holes. There's a huge series of catacombs. You'll still make it back out, but that's when you're also going to find out that there's a lot more skinwalkers than you initially realized. So, like, you'll, like, unwillingly start exploring the catacombs to try to find these two people. When most likely the person that jumped down there, my character, their friend, is most likely going to already have been eaten alive, so that's another thing that's going to happen. I was also thinking, Faze, we're probably going to have you be, like, one of the... Like, I was thinking about you having be the town's mayor. Your also death scene will be brutal as all hell. And the only reason for that is that I'm going to have the town's mayor be kind of like that one stereotypical guy that's just, like, kind of an asshole, but also, like, just trying to keep the town safe. You know what I'm saying?
Why couldn't this be that one town that has a dog for
I'm going to be a mayor in 2 separate series.
Hey, I mean, that's aside the point. But you're talking about the dog for the mayor in that one small town.
Yeah. Why couldn't that be?
Epic. But yeah, the Stir Crazy movie is probably gonna be one of my most, like, series that has the most put into it, because it's gonna be a short film. But not only that, like, I'm doing a lot of practical stuff for it and stuff like that. And, like, I've been, like, doing a lot of Googling stuff to figure out, like, how to make fake blood and stuff. Like, I've got, like, this whole list of, like, stuff to, like, make different consistency of stuff, because corn syrup makes it good if you need it to drip for a long period of time. And a simple, like, blood splatter can just be, like, low budget for what I'm doing, can just be used with a spray bottle or a hose and just, like, spraying it up against the wall really fast. Kind of like it would be with a knife, like, swipe. But I'm gonna try to stick to practical effects. Also, the fact that we can't really do CGI anyways, so.
Yeah, because we're on a budget.
Yeah. Oh God. Yeah, we are on a budget. The one joke that has always stuck with us. We're just budget Mark, Wade, and Bob.
Yeah, everything we do is on a shoestring budget, pretty much.
Yeah. Also, talking about the other side of this video, the Paper Pals movie, which, if any of you know, has been quite possibly the longest consistent project ever since, through all of us, like, it's been in progress since, like, the three of us even first met at this point.
it's been quite a production hell.
Yeah. Because it's gone through so many different, like, I don't want to say a Scott Cawthon situation here, but, like, I've thought of many, many, many different, like, script-type ideas, but then I finally got into one where I'm very happy with, and I've legitimately been writing it over the last, like, month. And I'm not going to give away...
We've also had a various, like, ins and outs with cast members.
That is true.
Yeah.
We've gotten to one
fair share.
We're pretty confident with at the moment.
The person who was originally supposed to be the leader, they out AF. They out AF all day.
Yeah.
And
we don't talk about her anymore.
And then my character ended up becoming the leader. And then we decided, well, we also have someone who could fill in, like, the empty fourth slot now, but then they gone.
Yeah. So, yeah.
So now that just leaves the three of us.
Yeah.
Yeah, and honestly, the trio might just be the best way to go.
Yeah, I think I like to look at it as any of you probably watching know that I'm obsessed with the Strangers films. It's a good three. It's a good team there.
Yeah, it's his. It was that. That's what it's inspired from. Is what he's saying.
Yeah. But the I'm not gonna say, like, the whole script, obviously, because one, it's not finished. Two, that's just not good movie telling to tell it before it's even out. But basically, it's gonna, if you know the Cringe O'Clock CBC News series, Ollie and Fox. First of all, think of Fox as not a fox at all. He's an actual human this time. But Ollie Morin, who is the CBC News guy, in this film, he's gonna be a, like, undercover investigator. He's a detective. That his city is, like, has been, like, getting these, like, constant reports about these killings, but, like, no one has seen who's doing it. It's kind of like a Saw situation, not exactly, but like the calling card thing. They carve out their names into the victim's skin, which is either Sunny, Blank, or Noir. And they've deducted that those are the three killers, but don't really know anything else about them. And the killings get worse and worse and more brutal, because, like, these people are getting, like, killed in just, like, really, really violent ways, like, torturous almost.
Yeah.
Yeah. Zach here has got his mask. You can't see, but, like, and also, FaZe here is the only one who really hasn't had any significant changes to his mask ever. Me and Zach's masks have gone through tremendous changes. Zach's especially, because he got a whole, like, redo on his.
Yeah, mine is literally the only one that hasn't changed. It's literally just a question mark.
Yeah, Sunny's mask has been designed.
Most simplistic mask ever.
Yeah.
Sunny's mask has been redesigned time and time again, and I had to basically redo mine from scratch because the old one kind of just phased out of existence.
Yeah. Kind of a weird thing. Like, wasn't it like something with, like, the house cleaning just threw it away because they thought it was trash or something like that?
That's my theory as to why I can't find it, but for all I know, God himself reached down from heaven and just stole it.
I mean, hey, you never know. Nothing is ruled out at this point. But yeah, I'm probably going to have to, like, remake Sunny's mask again. I'm going to keep, like, the way it looks now the same, but also just because the mask itself right now is in a terrible state. I mean, they are paper plates, for crying out loud. They're not going to stay intact forever.
Yeah, mine is kind of...
Good.
Mine is kind of like floppy now because of that night me and Logan walked around his neighborhood on Halloween.
Oh yeah.
And I kind of sweated a lot on it, and now it's kind of floppy.
Yeah.
It's still relatively, for a paper plate, it's just still in pretty good shape.
Yeah.
but
Mine is
it
also
is
like bended a lot because like it's got thrown in a bin every now and then.
I barely even used mine.
Yeah.
It was just, it's almost in pristine condition.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, as pristine as it can be for a paper plate.
Yeah, that's true. But yeah, the Paper Pals, and I always say this, and I still stick into it. The Paper Pals movie is going to be probably one of the biggest projects like ever, because I want it to be like actual like full length movie time, like hour and a half wise, like, and like it's gonna be on YouTube and stuff. But eventually, I want to put it on like actual like DVDs and like sell the movies. Like, I know you can like. But the thing is, like, the reason I want to sell copies is because, like, I would do, like, a special features section on there that you can only see if you buy the movie. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, we burn like 30 copies at a time.
Yeah.
Go to a city that we need to be at for some reason.
Mm-hmm.
Like maybe we have like a convention or something, but like we burn like 30 copies at a time, or maybe 50 or something, depending on how popular we are at the time.
Yeah.
And then we like sell people the hard copies of DVDs.
Yeah. Also, like,
and then like 3 days later, we see them on Amazon for a ridiculous amount of money.
I mean, the way I look at it is like, if people want to see it that bad, I mean, yeah, that sucks because they're stealing it, but I mean, at least then we know people really want to see it. Think about it like that. But another thing I was thinking is like, if I'm like popular enough by then, we could do another, because we're like doing things with Patreon a lot right now, but another thing we could do is like specifically for Paper Pals, like if you want to like back stuff to help us money for the project, like a big perk would be like, hey, we'll just send you a copy. You know what I'm saying?
We'll send you a copy of the movie.
Yeah, another thing I figured, like, if we do a Patreon thing for that, be like a signed copy of the script, which I know a lot of like independent filmmakers for like YouTube stuff actually do that anyways. Like, there's the one film that I like, which is a big inspiration for my Puppy Eyes movie. That's not relevant right now, but all I'm saying is, like, they, like, did the thing where, like, you can only get the movie through Patreon. But they, like, give away signed copies of scripts and stuff on there, so I figured that could be a good thing. But yeah, the Paper Pals movie is going to be one of our biggest, like, film. Because I feel like at this point, like, Stir Crazy and like the Paper Pals movie are going to be like actual like films, like, you know what I'm trying to say?
Like feature films, motion pictures.
In a way, like, because they're going to be longer than just like a short film or like a little like skit thing.
Yeah, it's going to be like an hour and a half probably.
That's what I want for Paper Pals movie. Stir Crazy, I was originally thinking about having it just be like a TV show type series, like, obviously not a real TV show, but a series. But I want to like do it in a movie also, because the thing about like a show series that me and Zach have started to figure out with Grin the Legend of Barreltown, not exactly easy when you don't get to see each other enough, because things like can have significant changes, and that way, like, if you film it as a movie, like, not all at once obviously, but like within a time frame, like, it's a lot easier to keep things consistent.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, soon we're gonna have like less constraints, because
True.
For those of you who are listening to this who don't know, we're actually still in high school, and when you consider that, some of the stuff we've done is kind of crazy.
Yeah, that is true.
But
and soon enough will be outdated.
Yeah.
But I'm graduating at like the end of May.
I'm graduating at the end of July.
I have no idea when I'm graduating.
Well, yeah, that's because you still get a lot more free time.
Yeah, you're homeschooled. You basically work on your own schedule. Me and him have to like stick to like 8 hours a day, 5 days a week, basically gaining unavoidable depression.
Yeah, the stress and anxiety I've had to deal with because of school is just way too much. And then you compare that to the content that we put out. I'm not trying to brag or anything, but some of the stuff we put out, now that you know that we're still in high school, having to deal with all that, it's slightly impressive in a way. You know what I'm trying to say.
Yeah.
Yeah, considering we don't make money.
Trust me.
Yeah.
A lot of the stuff I did, a lot of the stuff that, like, I would call your stuff pretty interesting. When it comes to my own work, I find it pretty shitty. Like, the first Stir Crazy film, looking back at it, it was just pure crap.
I mean, you did
like,
what you
I
could.
still had
you did what you could with what you
the
had.
little watermark at the bottom.
Yeah,
The
but like,
screen wasn't even loud enough for a jump scare. Why do I suck at jump scares so much?
well, the thing is, you did with what you could with what you have, which I respect that. Like, you weren't trying to, like, do anything you couldn't do. Like, you made the best you could with what you had, and then, like, the idea got expanded upon. Because when I first watched that video, I legit got goosebumps because it creeped me out. Like, I didn't know what was going to happen next. And we expanded upon that idea, and now it's getting its own movie.
So you know what I used to simulate the whole scene?
What?
You know how I simulated that?
Yeah.
Well, I simulated that using something called a duck blind. I kind of just sat in there with the hood completely
Oh god, he's glitching out.
down,
Oh.
and all the holes inside it.
Well, what we did is, I'm pretty sure it's obvious for mine. I sat in my room with the light off, a flashlight, a shirt over the flashlight.
With the lights completely off.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
Zach, we sat in his garage type place and filmed there for about. Each clip was 24 minutes long, so we sat there for a decent amount of time.
I think you mean
Yeah, the entire video
2-4.
was like 15
Yeah.
minutes.
But then we filmed his outside scene because he actually escaped.
Yeah, we recorded the outside
But
for my episode. We recorded the outside scene first. Then we recorded the day where I ate my hand. Then I washed my face, and then we started going from the beginning.
Because we wanted to do that first, because by the time we were filming, it was getting dark, but it was still light enough that we could film that. But by the time we were done, like, filming, like, the inside stuff, it was already dark, so that was the better move to make.
Yeah. I believe a lot of like movie studios actually do something like that, where they record other later scenes first.
Oh yeah, and
Then they
there's no
record
movie in the world that is
earlier
ever
scenes
actually.
later.
There's no movie in the world that has actually recorded its scenes in order.
Yeah, that's just, like... Because then a lot of people go off for, like, filming locations. Like, if you look at a Heist with Markiplier... some of the stuff, like, they had to film certain
unless you're the
times
people
because
who
they
made
only had that
Birdemic
area for a
and,
certain amount of time. Like, a lot of it can contribute to that, like, location things. Like, sometimes you only have it for a certain day and certain time.
It's like the metagame jam for movies.
Yeah. But, luckily with... At least for Stir Crazy, since I'm building my own sets, don't necessarily need to worry about not being able to do stuff. All we'll have to worry about is, like, weather and the span of the day. So, for the Paper Pals movie, we're not on the verge of even really discussing how that's going to be filmed yet, because that's not going to, face it, the Paper Pals movie won't even start filming for quite a while.
We don't really have a script for that movie.
Well, yeah, I'm still writing it.
Yeah.
That'll be pretty much, I feel like, one of our only scripted things ever. Because I'm writing, like, a full-on script for that.
Yeah, because, like, the majority of all three of our videos, we almost never do any scripted content. Unless we're doing it in a different language.
Yeah. Just like...
I'm actually I'm not the only person that actually does anything in a different language. Like, take a look at the Zico.
Spanish character.
He's not supposed to be like a main character. He's supposed to be that one-off character that you don't really need to. It's comic relief in a way. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Well, I've debated doing some Cruiser Clock videos in, like, very horribly translated Hawaiian.
Oh, yeah, we did talk about that.
Manuka Nuka Opa.
Jesus Christ. I'm going to have to put an ear rape warning on
I still
both of
have
them.
yet to hear either of you say the word completely right.
Well,
You've
you're
gotten
Hawaiian,
close.
we're not.
I don't even. I'm literally just copying what he
I mean,
God.
said. Logan's.
Yeah. I'm Australian.
Freaking
I'm known
Hawaiian.
for saying cunt. So,
I have no idea what I am.
yeah. Your
Very,
face.
I can have a bit of German.
Yeah. Well, my last name is German. But I don't know. Also, for these podcasts,
Power is an Americanized version of the German name Trumbauer. What?
I was talking to the guys here off screen before we started that these podcasts will probably be no more than an hour and a half long. This first one is probably going to be a lot shorter than ones in the future because this is the first episode. Because we've been going for 30 minutes now. So I'm trying to think of if there's any...
30 minutes?
Huh?
It's only been 30 minutes?
Apparently so.
Yeah, dude, it's surprising how much time flies when you're doing stuff like this. How do you think the discussion video me and Logan did the other...
I feel like it's been an hour already.
Well, yeah, the critical discussion video we did, we didn't realize that we went, slightly over an hour there very, very quickly. So...
And you're right, Zach. Time flies fast when you get old.
Oh my god. I'm going to put 3 ear rape warnings there.
I'm sorry. I tend to get very loud pretty quickly.
Well, you're putting your microphone into your mouth.
Yeah.
I'm not putting it directly in it. I'm putting very close to it.
You might as well be. Anyway.
I'm sorry.
Another thing I want to say actually in the video... 4th member of the podcast, maybe she's not here, but she makes the artwork.
I'm comic relief.
Julie, she makes the artwork for she's going to be making the artwork for the podcast.
Yeah, she's a pretty good artist.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, she's pretty good for the amount of time she's willing to spend on things. Yeah. Most artists spend hours on their pieces. For someone who generally spends only 30 minutes at a time on a frame, she's pretty good.
Yeah.
Yeah. She makes every single artwork count.
Yeah. I think, though, for this first episode, that's about all we really need to talk about, because both for Stir Crazy and the Paper Pals movie, there's not enough information we have to make this go on forever. So I'm pretty sure that'll do it for this first one.
Yeah. Yeah, because we pretty much talked about everything that there was for now.
Yeah.
Maybe in a later episode we could talk about how the video, how everything's
evolved. You can't see it, guys, but we're joined by Catechus. You can't see it right now, but Catechus is here.
Catechus.
Callie, she's on me.
Hello. She's known on both my Instagram and YouTube as Catechus, so. Her real name's Callie.
The name of pretty much every calico cat ever.
Yeah.
Wow.
Alright, well, I guess that's about it for this first episode then.
Yeah. Even though I didn't really talk much, this was pretty funny, I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah. Well, thank you guys for then joining me. I mean, they'll be here for every episode. We're thinking about doing this one every Saturday. That may change
or every other Saturday.
As long as nothing gets in the way.
Yeah. Because
which
I know
it almost did for me. I'm not actually recording at my house. I'm recording at my grandparents' house.
I know that
because I was supposed to be doing work at the garden.
Next Saturday is Mother's Day, so we may have to base around that. Some days we might have to do it Sunday instead of Saturday. So.
Well, what really matters is when you upload these.
That is true. Yeah. Well, we'll be recording them over the... since it's just audio, I'm probably going to still have this up today. I don't know.
Should we also
We're recording
give
this
them
on a Saturday. If you guys see it today, then yeah.
Should we also give them an idea of what we're talking about next time?
Sure. We'll give them, the general idea. We discussed that we're probably going to talk about FNAF, next week.
Yeah, one of my favorite horror game series.
There's going to be a lot to talk about.
Yeah, because I pretty much predicted what's going to happen in Security Breach months ahead.
Yeah, but we'll save that for next week. But yeah, this has been the first official episode of the Dumbass Podcast.
Stir Crazy and Paper Pals.
So I hope you guys enjoyed. This will be a new series on my channel going forward, and we'll see you guys next week.
We'll see you next episode.
Bye.
Bye.